obstacles? Well, 2017 was a very successful first year for President Trump. Now, before we get to the full list that the media will never show you, well, let's take a look at the economy. Stock market is at an all-time high and hit over 60 record closes in 2017 alone. The Dow Jones was up 25%. Over $5 trillion in new wealth has now been created. Unemployment, yes, unemployment at a 17-year low, sits at just 4.1%. And since taking office, President Trump has created 1.7 million new jobs. African-American unemployment, a 17-year low. We ended the year with consumer confidence sitting at a 17-year high. Home prices are up 6%, as is home building. Regulations have been slashed at a historic rate, and the Trump administration cut 16 regulations for every new one that was created. Also, let's talk about GDP. Now, so far under President Trump, we have seen 2 quarters over 3%. Let's compare that with President Barack Obama, the only president in the history of this country to never reach 3% GDP growth for an entire year. And we can't forget about Obama's terrible economy. Millions more people on food stamps and in poverty, 95 million Americans out of the labor force, the worst economic recovery since the 40s, the lowest labor participation rate since the 70s, and the list goes on. Worst recovery since the 40s, lowest home ownership rate in 51 years. And unlike Obama, business confidence is now soaring under President Trump. In fact, the news is so good that even the liberal New York Times cannot even ignore this. Take a look at this headline. I didn't make it up. The Trump effect. Business anticipating less regulation loosens the purse strings. This is exactly what we've been seeing happening all across the country. You couple that with the brand new $1.5 trillion tax plan that is now taking effect, and what you have is a recipe for a Reagan-style economic explosion. You, the American people, you're beginning to see the direct impact of this tax bill. For example, companies like Boeing, AT&T, Comcast, Wells Fargo, and Fifth Third Bancorp all announced employee bonuses or pay increases following that bill. That's real money back in the pockets of the forgotten men and women that deserve it in this country.